You are listening to Wealthy Muslim Woman Podcast, episode number 20 with Saima Ali, MD. Assalamu alaikum everyone. How is everybody doing today? I hope everything is going wonderful and great. I am sitting here on a Tuesday morning trying to record this podcast, and I am so exhausted because I was on call yesterday and one of the cases continued till like 3 a.m. So I am super exhausted and wanting to sleep, but this is a very exciting topic as well, and I really wanted to talk about this. So today we will be speaking about opportunity cost. We spoke about sunk cost a couple of episodes ago, and I thought this was also something very important that we do utilize on a daily basis or do miss out because of our thoughts. So what is opportunity cost? Opportunity cost is a benefit that an individual or an investor misses out on choosing one option versus the other. Now, financial reports do not usually reflect opportunity cost. This is something that you have to think about or try to calculate on your own to make an educated decision. Now, what does opportunity cost mean? So let's say you have $1,000 and you can either spend that $1,000 on something versus you can invest that $1,000 in the stock market, or invest that otherwise or keep the cash. And if you decide to spend the money, go on a shopping spree and spend that money, the opportunity cost that you're missing out is that if you could have invested that money in the stock market or otherwise, and the potential 10% that you could have gained on that money. So it's very important to think about the daily choices that we make in terms of opportunity cost to see what else we may be missing out and try to make informed, educated decisions. Now, since opportunity cost is not something that you can see, it's unforeseen, so it is easy to overlook it. There is a calculation for opportunity cost as well. I know in the beginning episodes we were doing a lot of math and a lot of numbers, and then we kind of got away from them. But opportunity cost, there's also an equation. It says opportunity cost is equal to return on the best alternative choice minus the return on the option that you choose. So it's called opportunity cost is equal to FO, which is the return on investment that you did not choose, the alternative one, minus the return on the investment that you did choose, which is CO. Now, it's an interesting concept because this is forward-looking calculation. You do not know the actual numbers for either of the options. Both the actual rate of returns are unknown for either option. Whether you pick A or you pick B, you don't know what the outcome will actually be. How is this different from sunk cost that we spoke about a couple of weeks ago? Well, sunk cost is the money that you have already spent. There is no potential return from that because the capital, the money that you had is already gone. You've already spent it. And now the future decision that you make, you should not be considering that old cost because that money is gone. That's done with. So that's how this is different from opportunity cost. Opportunity cost is the future decisions that you will be making, and you always have 2 or more options, and you have to weigh each option based on the information that you have. One way of looking at it is, let's say you have a business and you want to purchase equipment. If you already bought the equipment, the price that you paid for that equipment is already gone. That is a sunk cost. But if you are considering 2 equipments to buy, then you have to look at the opportunity cost. Let's say one laptop is more expensive and the other is a little cheaper, but the one that's faster costs more money. However, it's going to run a lot faster. It's going to be more efficient. You may be able to get more work done in less amount of time because the computer is not slowing down, versus the computer that you're spending less money on will be less efficient, and you may be wasting more time with working with that, and your actual rate of return at the end may be better if you spend more money, get a better quality equipment versus something that is cheaper and you are wasting time on that. So that's one way of looking at opportunity cost. This is an actual real example. I have done this. I have a very cheap Lenovo laptop that gives me a lot of trouble. I am still trying to use it right now, but I need to purchase a better laptop for myself. Risk is another term used in economics. Risk in economics means that that's a possibility that an investment, the actual and the projected returns may be different, and that you may lose money on an investment that you make. If you look at investments, then you could invest in something that has a 25% rate of return, but the risk may be very, very high, versus investing in something that where the rate of return is only 5%, but the risk is very low. So with option A, where you have 25% possible rate of return, even though, yes, you may win that situation and you may get that return, but the failure is likely high, and picking option B may have been safer option, where you are more safer, your principal will be maintained, and you may get a less return on investment. And of course, we will be speaking about emotional perspective to opportunity cost as well, because there is always emotional investment and the joy and the pleasure you get out of the different decisions that you make in life. And for me, the biggest investment that I ever made in my life was going to medical school and finishing residency. That was an investment of a lot of time and a lot of money. And I spent, nights studying and multiple hours working during residency, over 80 hours per week. So that has been one of the biggest investments I've made. What could have been the alternative to me going to medical school and residency and fellowship? Maybe my other option that I was considering was getting MBA or a master's in finance and working on the Wall Street, and the rate of return for that is not known. Maybe I could have done well in that, or maybe I could not have. But with going to medical school and with completing residency, there was also this personal achievement, personal contentment, personal reward that I got out of. This is something that I really wanted to do and challenge myself with, and tell myself that I can go through this and accomplish it. And I did that. So there's that personal satisfaction to this as well. However, with that option, with medical school or residency, I also spent a lot of time away from my family, spent a lot of holidays where I just could not take off. So that was another cost associated with that decision, where else it might have been better in a different field where you get weekends off and where you're done usually by 4 or 5 in the afternoon, which was not true with medical training. So a very important concept to consider on day-to-day decisions as well. So next time when you are going and spending money, you may be getting a temporary satisfaction out of that. You may get a little dopamine hit and feel very excited and happy with the immediate spending, but then you have to think about the later part as well. Will you feel guilty about that spending? will you think that you have wasted your money? Could that money have been invested somewhere and gotten you a better return, not only in terms of getting more money back, but also in terms of personal satisfaction, where you are feeling content and happy that you are making a good decision, a smart decision for yourself. So this is another way of just looking at life and everyday things. I hope you enjoyed this. This is a very small episode, but I thought it was important to discuss this economics concept as well. All right. Bye. Inshallah, until next time.